My name is Sheilah Chikoki. I am from Zimbabwe, but I've been living in Cape Town since September of 2008. Have had quite a long journey with It Starts With Me from when it was still Proud to Be. I was introduced to the program through some parent toolkits that landed into my email address. And the first time I read the first toolkit that I received, I fell in love with the program. And I was like, finally, this is something that speaks to something to the way that I see things, to the way that I've always questioned the way some people would speak about materials. So every week I would look forward to receiving a toolkit, and I would look at it and take time to think about what it says and start implementing them in my life. By then, I still had my son. He was only 2 then. So it helped me because I was someone who loved to have a lot of resources that would help me in my parenting, because my parents were not there to guide me in the process. So I had to find my own way of looking at it and doing it in the most appropriate way. So receiving these toolkits came as a very useful resource that I would use as a sounding board of my parenting as a mother. And it also came at a time when also at work I was going through a transformation in the work that we were doing, and we wanted to focus on early childhood development. So it also gave me something to think about in terms of shaping the concepts and the programs that we were doing at that moment. So that made me love the program even more because it would help me at home and at work as well. So the journey then continued in the way that in 2012, when I was pregnant for my little girl who's now almost 5 in August, I received an invitation for a parenting uh, workshop that was going to happen. And I was like, I'm not going to miss this chance. This is a chance that I have to interact with these people and to learn more about their program. So I informed my boss then, and he was okay with it. He was actually excited about it too, that he even wanted to join me in the program. So we registered to do the parenting program, and then that's how I then met the program on a first hand, and I was exposed to Adele. And the day I saw her, I was so happy, because to me I felt like personally I'm meeting someone who understands things in a way that I do. Because I used to call it at that time, I have my own weirdness, because I just refused to look at things the way a lot of people were looking at them. So now, when I got the confirmation that I'm not alone in this weirdness, I got a lot of consolation and some comfort in saying it seems it's not weird after all, but there is something in it. So I attended the whole training, and I was fully pregnant at that time. And I even gave birth before we finished the program. But then I continued even when I was on my maternity leave. I think we did our certification when my baby was just a few weeks old. And it was just a beautiful journey, because I knew it was an investment, not just for my work, but also for my children. So the journey continued. I felt I connected a lot with Adele. I loved the program. I would time and again keep looking through, going through the websites, just checking what is happening, checking more material that's coming from Proud to Be then, which is It Starts With Me now. And each and every day it would resonate with me. It would keep me thinking. It would get me, like, it helped me boost more confidence in myself and in the way that I see things. And it made me allow myself to stand out and be different. And I remember I used to say, even at that time, that I'm willing to wage my own war, as long as whatever difference that I'm going to make, it's going to be one too many. And I remember when I would have conversations with my friends, some of them would be like, but it's like a drop of blood in an ocean. I'm like, but at least there's blood in that water. So it really uplifted me, and it made me think, this is a force that I want to reckon with. It's something that I want to be associated with. And it gave me the yearning to have Adele as my personal mentor, because I felt she understands things and she sees things in the light that I do. So having her, now that she has managed to build the organization for herself, as a mentor would take me through a journey that I want to see myself going through in my own life. So I approached Adele, and she was so glad to be my mentor. So we kept in touch over the years. I tried to do the train the trainer program. I think then in 2013, but there were quite some hiccups that couldn't allow for me to do it. But within my heart, I just felt the fact that I believe in this. So it might not be the right time, but I'm not going to lose touch because it's something that means a lot to me personally, apart from my being a parent and from my being an employee. So we kept that conversation going, we kept the relationship until last year. We tried to go to do some negotiations as well and find a way of making our paths meet and do something together. But I think the time was just not right. Until this year, Adele told me she has a group of people, of ladies that she's going to train. And the minute I heard that, I was like, yes, this is my chance for me to really understand the nitty gritties of this program. And what I loved about it is that it's never a waste of time. Whether I do it for myself, whether I do it for my kids, whether I do it for work, it was still in a way going to benefit me. And it was going to speak to the person within me to make them realize that, okay, this is a journey that is worth venturing into. So that's how I then got into this step that I am in right now of then having to go through the train the trainer program, which I'm so excited that finally I'm going to be a certified trainer. And also it then didn't end there. So things just happened in a way that in my personal life, a lot of things have been happening, and I thought in the long run I was going to relocate and be able to do this work that I'm doing in South Africa and be able to do it with my own kinsmen because to me it was so dear. Whenever I would see the impact that the work that I'm doing here does on the people that I work with, within me would be a cry that says, but Sheila, how about your own people? You know, these issues are still there too, but then no one is really addressing them, so to speak. So, in as much as I enjoyed it, but I also felt I need to take this to my own people so that they also become proud of their own daughter bringing this and bringing this kind of change, and so that there's enlightenment and there's empowerment in my own people. So early this year, just in the same time that I started the training, with everything just shaped up. My sister and me started engaging in a talk of saying, but Sheila, why look everywhere else? Go back home. You know, you love what you do, you're good at it. Why not then just focus on going back home? And then my dad, and this is just so dear to me, my dad just one day said, my daughter, come home. It's time. You need to do what you're doing. Come do it here. I've been watching the news, and NGOs are busy resuscitating themselves. So I think it's time that you come. And to me, that was like, yes, I think it's time that I go back home. And I heeded the call. One afternoon, I'm thinking, okay, so I want to go home. How am I going to do it? And then it just popped in my mind that Sheila, instead of reinventing a wheel, you know Adele, she's got something that is working, something that you so believe in. Why don't you ask her and just find out if perhaps she has plans of going to Zimbabwe? And in that instant, I took my phone and I wrote, Adele, have you ever thought of this? And she responded instantly, and I was excited. When after that, then the fever just got me. Since then, when she agreed that she had always wanted to go to Zimbabwe, but she just didn't have the right person or the right organization to take it there. Then I was like, I'm your person. And since then, it's been every day. The thoughts are there. Everything is just shaping and telling me that it's time that I go home and start preaching this responsibility lifestyle. And yes, here we are. This is on this day, it's so special to me. And I was saying it to myself yesterday that tomorrow is a day that marks a proper beginning in me working something that I've dreamt of, that I thought I would push it far, but it has been brought into a certain point in my life, which is now. So it's quite, it means a lot to me. It's dear because not only is it work, but it's like it's my life. It's something that needs all the fibers that are within me, and for me to be given an opportunity to do it in my own space, in a place that I call home, it's just beautiful. It means a lot to me. I was going through this thoughts this week. Of late, ever since starting this, it's like ideas just keep popping up, and I don't feel it. I always feel it within me that this is the right thing. And I was telling myself that in as much as I might not be really sure how it's going to happen, but I believe that it's going to work. Because it's not something that is being fabricated, but it's a need. And it's a need that I'm sure is needed in every platform, whether in a family, in a workplace, in a home. So if my nation is able to accept this and be able to use it, I'm sure it will take us to another level. So now I'm excited. Huh, I'm super excited. This is my dream, and it starts now, and it begins with me.
Siyabonga baba.